Devil May Cry 3 Dante's Awakening Special Edition, often referred to as the greatest Devil May Cry game in the franchise, only to be surpassed by Devil May Cry 5. Also, this will also be a trash or treasure video, so here's the question. Is this game a worthwhile treasure, or is it just another piece of trash? Let's find out. This is my revisiting slash re-review of Devil May Cry 3 Dante's Awakening Special Edition. DMC3 Dante's Awakening, or just DMC3 in Japan, is an action hack and slash directed by the legend himself, Hideaki Itsuno, and was released on February 17th, 2005.
Same year as this piece of fuck.
For the PlayStation 2 and was ported to Windows in 2006. So after the mixed to negative reception to Devil May Cry 2, Itsuno and co decided to dial back the timeline to before the first game, featuring a younger Dante who is now voice and motion captured by another legend in the studio, Ruben Langdon, and is set in an enchanted tower called the Temenigru. Tongue twister, I know. The story centers on the dysfunctional relationship between Dante and his brother Virgil, who is voice and motion captured by Daniel Southworth. Here's a bit of trivia. While this game was in development, Southworth was actually suffering from either a cold or an illness, which made his voice nasally. So whenever Virgil spoke, it was Southworth suffering from that cold or illness. That's some dedication right there, if you ask me. The game also introduces combat mechanics with more emphasis on combos and fast-paced action. Devil May Cry 3 was widely praised by critics, hailing it as a grand return to the franchise after the massive bomb that was Devil May Cry 2. Yet, it did receive some criticism for its high level of difficulty in the original North American release. I'm guessing the people who made 2 took the 2 was too easy thing to heart, and made the original North American release one of the hardest games people had the displeasure of playing. This was later addressed in the re-released and rebalanced special edition of the game, released as Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition, released in 2006, featuring a retooled difficulty level and some additional mid-mission checkpoints, a little something called Gold Mode, and the playable Virgil. Yeah. 4 features. This really did earn Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition that little Special Edition tag. Combined sales of both versions are around, I want to say, 2.3 million, and it has been cited one of the greatest video games of all time. There was also a 2005 prequel manga series that was set even before the events of Devil May Cry 3. But I don't have the mangas with me, and I refuse to fork over a kidney in my right testicle to get them. Now, time for my abridging of this game's plot, which people say is the best in the series. Like I said, only to be bested by 5. Some dude named Arkham, real funny, told Dante that his brother Virgil wants to fight him on the tower. We kill demons, kill Cerberus, get him in weapon form, encounter a lady with numerous firearms, encounter a Jester character named Jester, kill Agni and Rudra, get them in weapon form, make our way to Virgil, get stabbed by Rebellion, unlocking the ability to DT, finally, after 1/3, get bored by a demon whale, kill said demon whale, kill more demons, fight more bosses, one of whom escapes only to get killed by Virgil, who Dante fights again, only this time with the weapon Beowulf. No, not the poem that was produced from 975 to 1025. Jester then reveals himself to be Arkham. Dante fights Lady, her real name is Mary. Dante then descends into hell, do a boss rush, fight Arkham along with Virgil. Lady kills Arkham, who is her father. And then finally, Dante fights Virgil again, this time emerging the victor. Virgil casts himself deeper into hell as Dante gets Force Edge, the dormant version of the Sword Sparta from the first Devil May Cry, and the game ends with Dante now having a name for his unnamed shop. Do you want to know the name?
Devil May Cry.
So that's the abridged version of 3's story. Overall, it's a definite step up from the first games and so much better than 2's. But if you ask any fan what they love about 3, they'll instantly say 3's gameplay. So, what's the gameplay of Devil May Cry 3?
Gameplay wise for Dante, it has something called the style system. Basically, it allows the circle button to be behaved rather differently. Like for instance, the style I have currently equipped is the Royal Guard, which once tapped with a circle button, it's basically more defense oriented. But to be honest, if I had to go with my favorite style, it's gotta be the Swordmaster, since I rely heavily on more melee combos than I do with gun combos. And there are a total of, I want to say either 4 or 6. We have Trickster, which is more dodge based, the aforementioned Swordmaster, which is used for more melee combos, Gunslinger, which gives the guns more use, Royal Guard, like I said, is more defense oriented, but the 2 bonus styles you get while playing through the game's story, Quicksilver and Doppelganger. Now those styles, they don't get much use, mostly because they are used, or rather introduced, very late in the game. Quicksilver basically allows you to slow down time, while Doppelganger says its name on the tin. It basically allows you to create a duplicate of Dante, which also does its own move, or try to copy yours. So overall for Dante's gameplay, I say it's rather magnificent. But it does also get fleshed out in not only the next game that I'm looking at, but also the Switch version, because we can freestyle switch in the middle of combat, whereas for the original version of the MC3, we basically have to wait at a divinity statue or a shop vendor, which basically allows us to not only switch our style but also our weapon loadout. So for Dante's gameplay overall, it's pretty damn good. Though there is one other character that I'm gonna have to be looking at since I am playing the special edition. So let's get on that right now. In terms of Virgil's gameplay, he is both different yet similar to Dante. Melee weapon wise, he has a total of 3, those being his trademark weapon, the Yamato, which is a katana-like weapon, Beowulf, which he uses in his second boss fight, and Force Edge, which he uses in his final boss fight. Though in terms of style, he only has 1, that being Darkslayer, which is similar to Trickster mostly because of its evasive dodging technique. But he also has ranged weapons of his own, those being the Summon Swords and the Spiral Swords. It basically turns him into a living Beyblade. Though there is another thing for Devil May Cry 3, that being the dynamic taunt system.
You shall die.
Just one tap of the select button if you're playing the PlayStation 3 version, or the touchpad if you're playing this on PlayStation 4. And both Dante and Virgil can say equip, which basically raises the style. And speaking of style, see that little bar over there? Right next to those 3 orbs, which is right next to Virgil's health bar? Yeah, your style can level up after you defeat a certain amount of enemies. So the game has some light RPG elements in both the styles and the weapons, since you can level them up by spending red orbs like you can do in 2. Though it's nothing like Devil May Cry 2, mostly because I want to say it's more balanced for both the melee and the ranged weapons. So Virgil gameplay wise, even though he doesn't have a double jump, which I definitely consider him the most fun to use. And I didn't even get into the Devil Trigger, which basically changes depending on what weapon you have. That is awesome, and I'm bummed that we never see this in the rest of the series, because this has got to be the coolest thing ever. Just switching weapons while in DT and watching the DT form just change. So yeah, Virgil, pretty fun to play. Same thing with Dante.
So that's the gameplay of Devil May Cry 3. To be honest, while it's a huge step up from 2's, just like how 2 played, the style system does get improved in Devil May Cry 4. And overall, is Devil May Cry 3 Dante's Awakening Special Edition, still one of the greatest games ever made? I'd say, yeah, it is. From the very good story which explains Dante's attitude and tone in the first and second game, very fun gameplay, and even the option to play as Virgil, Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition is definitely one of the 1001 games you should play before you die. It's available on PS3, PC, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and even the Switch, along with the previous two games. So, Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition gets my score of a 9.5 out of 10, with my ranking of a very, very worthwhile treasure for hundreds of hours. But now, I want to hear from you all. Did you play Devil May Cry 3, and could you recommend it to a friend? Leave your answers in the comments below. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and follow me on my social media. Links are down below, as always, and turn on that notification bell to be notified whenever I publish the review of Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition. Until then, take care, everybody.